Hey, welcome to How to Fix a Workshop. My name is Josh, and I just finished building this workbench where I integrated my miter saw. And the really cool thing about this workbench is it's 2 feet wide, and my garage is only 19 feet wide, and I'm still able to park 2 cars side by side. If you'd like to see my design and how I built it, keep watching. So I'm finding myself here at the end of 2020 with a little bit of extra free time on my hands. So I'm gonna try to make some improvements and modifications to my workshop. And to start, I'm gonna be taking down my folding miter saw station that I built about 2 years ago as I spin all the way around here to the other side of the shop, the other side of my 2-car garage. I have this space here that a lot of tools are sitting on the floor. And then I have this rolling cart over here. What I want to do is build a bench across this whole, basically the whole length of the shop, all the way down to near the corner here where I recently just built this shop vac cart. And I want to have my miter saw station permanently in place here in the middle, and then have some kind of shelves or cabinets here in the middle where I can store a lot of these other tools. So that's what I'm going to get started on today. We'll see how it goes. Smooth. So that only took a couple minutes to take that miter saw station down off the wall, and it only resulted in 2 very minor injuries. One was that bump to the head that I think was caught on camera, and then a very minor scratch here on my finger, which is no big deal. So it happens. I probably should start wearing a hard hat. Try to be safe, but it happens sometimes. Something that's pretty important to me is to use my garage to still park 2 vehicles inside when I'm not in the process of working on something or doing some woodworking, because I only do that a couple hours a week, and I would like to keep my cars in the garage the rest of the time. And also having kids that have cars now, it's just our driveway, we don't have a whole lot of room, we don't want to park on the street, all that sort of thing. So I still try to park 2 of our cars, my wife's and mine, in the garage as frequently as I can. So in order to do that, I need to maximize the space along the walls as much as possible. And the garage is not very large. It is just big enough to have the 2 cars and then these tools along the wall. One of the main reasons to do this was to be able to put the table saw in a place that is easier to get to. So instead of having it back here in this, tucked away in this corner where I had to move things up out of the way in order to get to it, I want to put it up here, up front, close to the entrance, close to the garage door, and have it accessible where I can just wheel it out, set it up in a matter of a few seconds, and it can be ready to go. And then have that rolling cart, which is going to serve as my outfeed table, to be readily accessible and tucked away underneath this bench here. So the rest of the space here, that big long opening, is just going to be one long workbench, basically from that corner all the way to where the clamp rack currently is. And then it'll be time to start building the workbenches and finding the best spot to put the miter saw, because I want the miter saw to go somewhere in here so that it'll have a little bit of room, and I'll have a little bit of bench space on the right side, and then the majority of it, a good 9 feet or so, will be on the left side. Well, here are just a couple clips of the project complete, or at least as complete as it's going to be for this video. I still have a lot of things that I want to do to the miter saw. Like maybe add some T-track with some stop blocks, some doors for where the shop vac is, some shelves where the orange shop vac is, and just some other places where I can store some tools. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It was pretty easy. I finished most of it within a matter of a few hours in one day. And if you stuck around to the end, I appreciate you watching.